What's up guys, OT here, back with another MLB The Show Diamond Dynasty video. Now for today, I'm going to be kind of following up a little bit on my last video, where it was sort of like a hitting tips / approach video. In the last video, I just played a ranked seasons game, and I tried to walk you guys through what my approach is when I'm hitting in a ranked seasons game, especially on Legend against a good player. Now for this video, I'm going to try to get a little more into like the nitty gritty stuff. We're going to hop into custom practice. I'm going to talk about my PCI, what exactly I'm looking for, more of that kind of stuff. Once again, if you need my credentials, I'm not the best player in the world, but I'm 22nd lifetime, 343 average. This season I'm 21-1, hit over 400, so for the most part I know what I'm talking about, and I think I can help you guys get better at your game. So when I go into custom practice, I like to put the pitch speed up. I don't like to put it all the way up because I just think that's a little excessive, but I like to put it like one bar before all the way up. I'll show you guys in a second. I have a custom roster, just some players that I would actually use in DD, you know. I think it's under my sliders. Yeah, I like to put them to here. Not all the way, but okay, actually 2 clicks before all the way, just because I feel like that's a more realistic level. Alright, so in custom practice, I like to, there's different ways to do it. Sometimes I like to just play through the lineup. Other times I like to put replay play on. We'll do a 2-2 count. That way we'll probably see a full variety of pitches. Put on Hershiser. I like to put pitchers that you actually face in DD, though I normally do Hershiser and sometimes Rivera, Fingers, and where's Chapman and Chapman. Those are the ones I like to do the most. So we'll do Hershiser here. We'll put Craig Biggio at the plate, 2-2 count. So the main thing I'm looking to do in a custom practice is just track the ball. I'm not really looking to swing. I just want to track the ball, get my PCI to where it needs to be. So I kind of have a hitting philosophy that I tried to get into last video, but I'm not sure if I got into it as much as I needed to. So let me try to explain it a little more. So the worst swing you can take in MLB The Show, real baseball, whatever, is chasing a pitch. If you chase a pitch, you're unlikely to hit it hard. Even if you do make contact, it's probably going to be either a weak out or a foul ball. But the second worst swing you can take is swinging too late on a pitch on the inside part of the plate. And the reason for that is, like, as you guys know from real baseball and MLB The Show, if you swing out in front of a pitch on the outside portion of the plate, you can still drive that pitch. But if you swing late and you don't get your hands extended on a pitch on the inner third, or like the middle to the inner third of the plate, you're not hitting that ball anywhere. Like a late swing on an inside pitch is going to be a jammed little weak out 99% of the time. Even if it does end up being a hit, it's a fluky hit. It's not a hard hit ball. So we want to avoid swinging late at inside pitches. That's one of the biggest things. So the 2 things I like to do when I'm hitting in MLB The Show are don't chase pitches and don't swing late on pitches on the inside part of the plate. So how do we achieve that goal? Well, for me, I like to be really patient at the plate. If I have less than 2 strikes, I don't like to swing if it's outside of my comfort zone. My comfort zone would be, if you're watching the PCI right now, this little box in here, maybe a little further up and further down. That's what we're looking for. See, that's a terrible swing. You do not want to swing late on those pitches. But we're just looking in this little box, right in the middle of the zone. Pitches that we can get our hands to, that we can pull easily, but not pitches we're going to roll over like off the plate away, and not pitches that are harder to get our PCI to, like out in this area. So before 2 strikes, you know, you have the advantage at the plate when you're hitting and there's less than 2 strikes. There's no reason for you to be swinging a pitch in here, a pitch in the dirt like that. I'm just swinging everything now just to, I don't know, just to swing. But in a real game, I would never swing at that pitch. Especially less than 2 strikes. 2 strikes, all bets are off. Your approach obviously takes a little bit of a hit. You're still looking for pitches in the zone, obviously, but you're in a little bit more of a protect mode. But less than 2 strikes, you're looking for what I like to call cookies. Pitches that are in this zone right here. Alright, so just some basic things. My PCI is just the circles on the center, no inner or outer. Sometimes, I know it's just personal preference, some people like an inner. I would never recommend using an outer. I mean, if it works for you, go ahead, but I think it's just clunky. I think a center is almost a must-have for pretty much everybody. I like circles because it's the most just visually appealing to me personally. It doesn't really obstruct anything. If I do need an inner, I think wedge is good, starfighter's not bad, basic's not terrible either. My personal preference is wedge, just because that was what I used in previous MLB games. But most of the time I just use a center. So I have the color on cyan and the transparency on 100% as well. So when I'm hitting, I like to start my PCI pretty much in the middle. I like to move it around in like the center box. Just do a little circle in the center box here as the pitcher is getting set and starting his motion. But as the pitch is coming in, I probably hold it like maybe right here, like almost dead center. Just because I feel like that gives you more range of motion at the plate. I've tried other things. I've tried starting my PCI in, I've tried starting it up, tried starting it low. But for me, starting it near the center gives you the best range of motion and the best ability to hit pitches that are located anywhere. Alright, so here we're going to take replay play off. I'm just going to walk through an inning and try to go over my approach and how I try to hit. Alright, so here I'm going to try to walk you guys through an inning and show you what's going on in my head, how I like to hit, that kind of stuff. Early in the count, if it's not your pitch, you're not swinging at it. It's got to be probably a fastball because you should be sitting fastball, but if you get a good read on an off speed, that's fine too. Just something over the middle that you can drive, something that you can hit to the pull side, preferably, because that's where you're going to generate your best exit velos. So you don't want to be swinging at pitches down here. You don't want to be swinging at pitches down here. You don't want to be swinging at pitches out there because all you're going to do is probably either line out to short or roll it over to second. Now with 2 strikes, we got to battle a little bit more. We can't just swing at pitches over the middle. But we get a mistake, and that's what you got to do with mistakes, especially with 2 strikes. You got to be on them. If a pitcher makes a mistake and gives you something middle third with 2 strikes, that's something you got to be on. Again, first pitch, we're taking it if it's not our pitch. He throws us a cutter down the middle. I trust myself. We're going to hit that 100 times out of 100. Well, we should at least. Here, right-handed batter up. Approach changes a little. I can't really blast these sinkers in like I would with a lefty without selling out a little. So I'm just looking for things to leak out over the plate. Probably a cutter, most likely. And you know, this goes for online DD too. You're gonna get a lot of cutters. People try to throw cutters like in this area. A lot of them will leak out like over here, and those are pitches you can easily blast to left field for a homer. See, that's a bad swing. I did one of the worst things you can do. Like I said earlier, one of the worst things you can do is swing late on an inside pitch. And I just did it. First pitch, nothing we can do with that. You know, you got to be really cracked to put a good swing on that pitch, and I'm just not on that level. I'll admit it, I'm not that cracked. I get by my approach. See, that's just a good pitch. With 2 strikes, you have to swing at it though. Early in the count, you can lay off that pitch. That's why not swinging at bad pitches early in the count is something I really try to avoid. Because with 2 strikes, you can let the pitcher get you out sometimes. You know, you're trying to battle, but that's just a good pitch. The pitcher hit his spot. I put a decent swing on it for where it was located. But early in the count, we can just let that go. Once again, 3-1, we're only swinging the cookies. He leaks the cutter almost perfectly down the middle. Ball has to be punished, and it is. Once again, we get a pitch over the middle. If that sinker's in, we might get jammed, but it ends up being almost right down the middle. We gotta punish it, we do. So the main things I want to stress, let me just reiterate. Before 2 strikes in the count, there's no reason for you to go out of your happy zone. Whether that's, I mean, it should be basically right down the middle third of the zone. Maybe leaning a little to the outside, a little to the inside, but nothing on the black, basically. You don't want to be swinging at anything on the black with less than 2 strikes, because that's not a pitch that you're likely to do damage on. Pitches over the middle are the easiest pitches to hit. They're the easiest pitches to hit for a long way. So that's what we should be swinging at until we have 2 strikes, and we have to change our approach a little bit. The other thing, this goes hand in hand, but swinging at balls is the worst thing you can do. If you don't trust yourself to be able to know the strike zone perfectly and not chase pitches, sometimes you should take till you have a strike, maybe even 2 strikes. If you don't trust yourself to know the zone, just track the pitches, really learn the strike zone, and then you'll get better at pitch recognition and not swinging at pitches off the plate. The third thing, when we are swinging at strikes, the worst kind of swing you can have is swinging late on the ball. If you swing late on the ball, you're gonna get jammed. You're not gonna get a good exit velocity. The ball's gonna go nowhere. So we want to avoid late swings at all costs. An early swing, as you guys know, you play this game, an early swing, you can still drive the ball, especially if it's out over the plate. If it's inside, you'll just blast it foul, that's fine. At least it's not a jam pop-up. But swinging early gives you the best opportunity to drive the ball, hit it to the pull side where you have your most power, where you're going to generate the highest exit velos, and just, hit better. So always look to pull the ball. That's why we try to avoid dots, because anything that's not dotted, even if it's a little away, we can still pull that ball, we can still drive it. Alright, so I want to go into pitching for a second just to kind of show some stuff. Now I'm not going to throw pitches, I just want to go over something quick. So when I'm hitting, I like to split the strike zone into, well, obviously there's 9 different little boxes on the strike zone, but I like to split the strike zone into thirds when I'm hitting. There's the middle third, the inner third, and the outer third, obviously. So early in the count, middle third is what we're looking for. This is where we can drive. And then like right on the edge of the inner and outer third. Once we start getting out here, in here, those are more questionable swings early in the count, Those are pitches that are harder to drive. They're harder to, on the inner third, they're harder to extend and get your hands around in time. On the outer third, it's harder to weigh back on, because you're gonna have to shoot that pitch the other way. Like, you can pull this pitch, you can't pull this pitch, So once again, for the 1000th time, the best way to get better at hitting an MLB The Show, don't swing at bad pitches. Wait for your pitch, especially early in the count. I see so many players, even good players, even top 50 players, that just have zero approach at the plate. They swing at anything. If they had a better approach, they could probably be some of the best players in the world. They just don't have the approach they need, and that's what kills them. I want you guys to all have a rock solid approach. It takes more focus to hit like this. You can't kind of just play the game half-heartedly. Like, if you're trying to really get better at the game, this is a game you have to focus super hard on. You have to make sure you're putting a conscious effort into every at-bat, every pitch, Alright, well, I appreciate everyone for watching. If this video helped you at all with your approach, make sure to hit that like button, make sure to hit that subscribe button. After this video, we're going to be getting back into just gameplay videos. I just wanted to make a couple videos showing you guys how I like to hit in MLB The Show and what helped make me one of the better players in the world.